Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prasthaya Bhutale Rupanunga Bhaktidam Cha Kripamurti Narayanam Seva Kunja Vijaya Ramya Govardhana Giro Sada Radha Kundara Sananda Datta Seva Padayavam Gurum Narayanaktyam Tam Vande Vinoda Prasthakam Nirpada Smriti Matrena Damodara Prasidate Vanchakalapatiruvyascha Kripa Sindhuvaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanavya Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Haripriya Bhaktya Vihina Parada Lakshaya Kshiptascha Kamarita Rangamadhya Kripamaikam Saranam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhajami Radham Aravindanetram Smarami Radham Madhurasritasya Bhajami Radham Karuna Baradram Tato Mamanyasti Nataki Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my Sastananda Pranam thousand times Lord Shri Paramaradatam Guru Pada Padmam Vishnu Pada Sotra Shri Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Sai Maharaj Gurudev. Secondly, I offer my Sastananda Pranam thousand times Lord Shri Rupanagar Gauri Guru Bhargava. And for my Sastananda Pranam and all Sangha Vaishnava. Continuing reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 31. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manava shradhavanto anusuyanto muchyante tipi karmabhi. Those who are free from envy, who have complete faith in me, and who always abide by this desire of mine to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga, are liberated from the bondage of karma, fruitive activities. Bhavanuvar by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sri Bhagavan is speaking the present shloka beginning with Ye Me in order to engage people in following his instructions. In other words, he's saying in this verse that one who is free from envy, who has complete faith in me, in the Lord, and who is always following the Lord's desire. In this context, he's saying, perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. That is the minimum. He's talking about the general people. Then they become liberated from the bondage of karma. Krishna's ultimate desire is what? He wants to do his praying. He has no connection with people who are performing Nishkam Karma Yoga. But that Nishkam Karma Yoga will not attract the Lord. Krishna will not come seeking out that person. But the Lord will be happy with anyone who is following his instructions. When he's performing his duties and performing Nishkam Karma Yoga, then the Lord obviously will be satisfied in the sense that he will not be, you're not incurring any sinful activities. But really you want to please the Lord, then you have to look how Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, how they are pleasing Krishna, how the gopis are serving Krishna, how the sakhas, they know how to please Krishna. They control Krishna with their love. Ultimately, this is the Lord's desire. He only desires one thing, that is prem, bhakti. Krishna has no desire for anything else. So if you really want to touch Krishna, capture Krishna's heart, then you have to perform analoy prema bhakti, braj bhakti. Bhakti like the brajvasis. Then Krishna, he will become attractive. Sakalam jagate mor kore vidhi bhakti. Vidhi bhakti braja bhave paite nahi shakti. Aishwarya jnanate jagata sava. Aishwarya jnanate sava jagata nishrita. Aishwar shidil prem nahi mor aprita. She says, the whole world is mixed. They're worshipping me by this Vaidhi bhakti. The bhakti is mixed with this Aishwarya Gyan. But this kind of bhakti that has become weakened by this Aishwarya Gyan, does not attract me. Vidhi Bhakti Braja Bhav Paiti Nahi Shakti. Vidhi Bhakti also has no power to attain this Braja Bhakti. It is not helpful in that. So, only by Rag Bhakti, Braj Bhakti, then is Braj Bhav, then Krishna, he will become pleased. Slok 32. Yeta etar abhyasu yanto nanotishtanti me matam sarva jnana vimudhangstam vidhi nashtan achetasaha. But know that those envious persons who do not follow these instructions of mine are bereft of discrimination and all true jnana, and are ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Those who are envious, do not follow the Vedic injunctions, then they can never attain any kind of perfection. Nothing, they cannot even achieve happiness in this life. They have suffered due to the reaction of their sinful activities. The destinations of envious people who neglect Bhagavan and his instructions, then they'll suffer and they'll go to hell. Bhavanuvad. In speaking this sloka, beginning with the words here too, Bhagavan is explaining the ill effect of not following his instructions. When Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Guru Bhargava is saying, oh, someone who neglects to follow these instructions, they go to hell. They're not trying to threaten, intimidate anyone. They're just stating the facts. That once karma, it will follow you wherever you go. You're responsible for all your actions. Whatever you do, you're responsible for that. So this is just trying to create some awareness, awaken some knowledge in us, to realize that everything we do, we're responsible for those actions. And therefore we must be ready for the repercussions, for the results that we will achieve. You plant the seed, and you bear fruit accordingly. So whatever seed you sow in the earth, be prepared for what is coming. Don't think, oh, I'll do anything I want, then nothing will happen. No. All balance is being written. Sadrisham chestate swasya prakriti jnanavan api prakriti vyanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Even a wise man acts according to his own acquired disposition. For all beings follow their respective natures. What will be achieved by repression? So according to your dharma, you should act. You try to avoid your dharma, then nothing will be achieved by that. Whatever your adhikar is, you should follow that. Bhavanuvad. One may raise the following question. A person who does not obey the order of a king is punished. So if one does not follow the order of Parameshwar, is he not punished as well? Should he not fear punishment from him? In response, Parameshwar says, yes, this is true. However, those who are engaged only in satisfying their senses are unable to follow the order of the king or of Parameshwar, even though they have discrimination. Why? Because they become attached. They may have knowledge, but they are attached to enjoying, therefore they cannot give it up. Their nature has become like this. The present shloka beginning with Sadrisham is spoken to explain this. People may know that sinful activity will lead to punishment from the royal court, or even going to hell, and may understand that this will bring infamy and criticism. Still, because of the nature that they have acquired over a prolonged period, they endeavor according to the temperament resulting from their sinful deeds, which brings only misery. They may know everything, but because they have engaged in sinful activities for such a long time, they have acquired acquired nature, a temporary nature, nisarga. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaivadatma, first chapter, he describes what is a vastu, what is nitya dharma, managing dharma. The nisarga is the temporary condition of an object. Like water, when it's frozen, it becomes ice. But that is not the natural condition of the water. The natural condition of water is to flow. But when it freezes, it becomes hard and cold and becomes ice. So similarly, people who engage in sinful activities, even though they may have knowledge, but because their heart has become hard like ice, they are unable to give up those sinful activities, and they, even knowing so, they continue. This is due to their habit. Therefore, one should not get into the habit of neglecting Shastra, performing sinful activities, neglecting one's duties. If you get into the habit of neglecting one's duties, then this will become your acquired disposition over a period of time. So such people only follow their own disposition. They can, however, be restrained by my discipline or that of a king. Samskars, purifying impressions, can be made in a person with an impure heart by Nishkam Karma Yoga, and in a person of pure heart through Jnana Yoga. Both types of people can be enlightened. It is true that neither of these processes can help a person whose heart is extremely impure. But bhakti, which appears by my mercy, can easily deliver even sinful people. Someone's heart is very impure, they're very sinful. Like Giridhari the hunter, Ajamir, King Vena, so many of the Jagai Madak, their hearts are impure. They're doing so many sinful activities. Then this ordinary Nishkam Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, this is not going to be effective. Sometimes you have some ordinary stain on your cloth. Then you add some soap, you wash it, it leaves away. Or even just water, you wash it. Or you add some soap or this, that. But the vice versa, but if it's something very hard to remove stain, then he said you take something like petrol, like a thinner. It dissolves, it destroys all the stains even from the root. Or like a disease. Ordinary disease, ordinary cold, then what you do, you just eat full belly and keep your body warm and drink some hot juices, then your cold will go away in 1 or 2 days. But you develop some critical disease, like jaundice, some tuberculosis or whatever, then you need to take proper medication, intensive care. Only then it is removed. So people with extremely impure hearts, very sinful, then only bhakti is the medicine, only bhakti is the means to purify those people. Jnana karma will not help them. It will not be effective. It's like Bhakti Devi, in Bhagavad Maharaj said, Bhakti Devi has 2 sons, Jnana and Karma. But this Jnana and Karma, they have become old and weak and enfeebled because of the arrival of Kali Yuga. Why? Because in Kali Yuga, only Bhakti is predominant, strong. All other processes have no power to give you perfection and give you any siddhi. Means when we say Karma Jnana, it means Jnana, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So Bhakti Devi then, she approached Narad Rishi for help. The Narad then, was the 4 Kumaras, I forget, there is a Narad of the 4 Kumaras, they spoke Bhagavatam for 7 days. Then Jnana and Karma, they were completely revived. Hearing that Bhagavatam for 7 days, they retained their youth and their health, everything. And they became healthy again. So only Bhakti is capable of purifying the heart, reviving the soul. All other processes are ineffective. Therefore Krishna says in Bhagavatam, Na saryati mam yoga, na sankyam dharma uddhava, na swadhyayas tapaschyago yata bhaktir mamorjitaha. Said that na saryati, you cannot attain this prema bhakti, you cannot attain me by doing so-called sadhana, yoga, study, swadhyaya, tapas, tyag, renunciation. All these things, they are not effective attaining me. Only bhakti, yata bhakti mamorjita, only bhakti, devotion, pure devotion is effective in attaining me, Krishna says. Then if that is the case, then why is Krishna giving so much instructions on karma and jnana in the Gita? Because he realized that not everyone has adhikar for bhakti. Therefore, he has to speak according to the adhikar. He has to help them develop some nishtha in him, nishtha in the Veda, in the Shastras. So they can perform karma, but in which way? In the mood of Nishkam karma, Nishkam karma yoga. He is giving something to those people who lack the eligibility for bhakti, so that they may develop some sukriti, may develop some samskar, may purify the heart. Then they will be eligible one day to hear instructions on bhakti. In the Skanda Purana it is said, Aho danyosi devarsya kripaya yasyate ksha nichokya ut pulako leve lubdhako ratim ut achyate. O Devarshi, all glory is to you. Because of your mercy, this low-class hunter has in just one moment attained rati for the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan, and is manifesting the symptom of pula, a type of spiritual ecstasy in which one's bodily hair stand on end. In other words, this is Pandvat Rishi is speaking to Devarshi Narad, talking about Giridhari the hunter. Giridhari the hunter, he developed rati, the lotus feet of Bhagavan, by the mercy of Narad Rishi. Narad Rishi, he delivered so many. Narad Rishi have many famous disciples. Most famous is Prahlad Maharaj, Valmiki Rishi, and Dhruv Maharaj. These are famous disciples of Narad Rishi. Giridhari the hunter also mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Most countless others. Narad Rishi, therefore here, Gurudev used to say, give an example. If you want to accept the Sadguru like Narad Rishi. Should be qualified like Narad. Narad is extremely qualified and transcendental, situated, always absorbed in the service of the Lord. Who was able to use Narad Rishi as an example. He is Sadguru. He is so qualified, even the demons used to take shelter of him. Like Kamsa. Narad Rishi would come and Kamsa would go to Narad Rishi. Oh, Gurudev, offer gifts to him. Narad was the reason for the liberation of Kamsa also. He saw that, he's going to be slowly, he's going to wait for the 8th child to be born. It's going to take years and years. Therefore he told Kamsa, after the first child was born, and Kamsa thought, this is not the 8th child, I have to worry about the 8th. So he even released Devaki and Vasudeva, let them stay in the house, and he sent their son to them. Then Narad thought, this is not going to work. In this way, when the 8th son will come, what is the guarantee? Why if a husband and wife, they have 1 child, 2 child, 3 child, and they may think, what is the need for me to create more children? It may take a long time to get to the 8th child. So Narad was thinking, no, his 8th Krishna should come quickly. So he went to the Kamsa. He arrived there in his court. Then Kamsa stood up and said, oh Gurudev, Namaskar. How can I serve you? And Narad said, can you bring me 8 pieces of pera? I'm very hungry. So they bought 8 pieces of pera. Then Narad said, give me the 8th one. Then Kamsa looking, which is the 8th piece of pera? 8 piece of this sandwich, burfi, which one? They start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gurudev, which one is the 8th one? I don't understand. Narad says, exactly. You don't know, the demigods are very tricky. Which one is the 8th son of Devaki and Vasudeva? How do you know? If they start counting from 7, then the next son will be the 8th. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if they are counting from 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Demigods are very tricky like this. You cannot rely on anything they are saying. They are giving this divine aerial voice. What is their meaning? How do you know? Be careful. Then comes understood his hint. Acha, demigods are playing tricks with me, they want to kill me. Then again he took Devaki and Vasudeva, threw in the jail, he took the son, smashed his head on the rock, killed it. And this way then, one after another, 6 children were born. Then when the 7th one was born, then, no, 8, this, 8th child, 7th one, 8th child, 7th children were born, the 8th one, and Krishna was born, he's taking there, then he brought Yoga Maya back. And then we know this katha. So, then Yoga Maya manifested the head and kicked Kamsa in the head and said, oh, your killer has been born elsewhere. So, also the 7th child seemed to be, actually mentioned, it was like a miscarriage, but actually it was Baladev in the womb who was transferred to Rohini in Vrindavan. So the 7th child was actually a miscarriage, but it wasn't Baladev who was transferred into the womb of Rohini. So Prakashika Vritti, Gurudev is saying that a person who with uncontrolled senses may have discrimination, but cannot restrain his senses by sattvic knowledge. Stambhayan Atma Atmanam Yavat Sattvam Yata Shutam Na Shashaka Samadhatum Mano Madana Vedkitam. After seeing the prostitute, the mind of Ajamil became agitated. He tried hard to control his mind by fortitude and subject knowledge, but by being agitated by Cupid, he was unable to do so. Vishwanath Chakravarti gave the example of Giridhari Rishi, now Gurudev is giving the example of Ajamil. Bhakti is such a powerful process, they can purify the hearts of even such simple people like Ajamil, Giridhari, etc. Even uncontrolled, degraded desires can be removed by the powerful influence of sadhu sangha. Tato dussangam utsujya satsu sajjata buddhiman sante eva se chintanti mano vyasangam uktibi. 11th canto of Bhagavatam says, saintly people can, by their powerful speech, completely cut asunder all the unfavorable attachments of the mind. Vyasanga means attachments which make one averse to Sri Bhagavan. Here the word eva implies the powerful speech of saintly persons alone. Pious actions, holy places, devas, and sastric knowledge are by themselves not able to destroy unfavorable attachments. This should be understood. Even the tirthas, the holy places, the sinful jivas of Kali Yuga, they go to these tirthas and they bathe there, and the tirthas themselves become contaminated. One time there was one sadhu who was in Vrindavan, he saw a black horse enter into the border of Vrindavan, and after crossing the border of Vrindavan, that black horse began rolling in the dust of Vrindavan into this Braj Raj. As the horse was rolling and rolling, his body slowly, the black complexion started going away and his body became golden. And sadhu thought, who is this horse? It's not any ordinary horse. At one moment he is black, now rolling in the dust he has become golden. Then he approached that horse and said, oh, who are you? Why have you come here? Please tell me. Then that horse said, oh, I am Prayagraj, Tirtharaj, Prayag. All the people of Kali Yuga, knowing me to be the king of all tirthas, they come to me, bathe in my waters. They are leaving all their sins. By all their sins, my body has become black. Now, how will I become pure? How will I purify myself from this contamination? Therefore, I come to this place, Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham is not a tirtha. Vrindavan Dham is the residing abode, holy abode, the residing place of Krishna and his all his associates. This is Krishna's home, his house. Therefore, when I roll here, I become purified. And that sadhu offered his pranam and he left. So, tirtha, devas, pious activities, all these things, these are not efficient in removing unfavorable attachment, anarthas and sins. Therefore, it is said that Rahuka naita na tapasa yati na cheja nirvapana grihadva na chandasa naivi jalagni suryaya mahatpa bina mahatpara rajo abhishekam. Jad Bharatot Maharaj Rahugana. If you want to attain this prema bhakti, the ultimate perfection, then Rahuganaita na tapasa. By tapasya you can attain it. Na yati. By accepting renunciation. Na chejya, by ijya, by worship, nirvapana, going to the forest, taking sannyas, riha, by staying in your house. Said that, naivi jalagni surya, by doing tapasya under the sun, in the fire, in the water, all this na chandasa, by reciting the chandas of the Vedas, na chandasa naivi jalagni surya, bina mahatpara rojo abhishekam. The only thing that you can do, the only thing that is efficient in attaining this perfection, this prema bhakti is what? By bathing in the foot dust of those mahat, those great souls, those great Vaishnavas. Vinat mahat pada rajo abhishekam. Take that padaraj, that padaduli. And what is Vrindavan, what is this Braj? This is all the padaduli of all the Brajvasis. Krishna and his associates, they are perform their pastime. Even today they are performing their pastime. That's why this Braj is so special. You smear this on your body. But this doesn't literally mean that, okay, I come to Vrindavan, I smear the dust on my body, now I'll attain Prem. Eventually you'll attain Prem, but you'll have to follow the process to attain Prem. By smearing the Braj on your body, you'll attain Sukriti. By this you'll meet the sadhu who is living in Braj. You'll meet with the true Brajbasi. Ultimately this Braj Prem is where it is in the heart of the Brajbasis. And therefore you have to serve those Brajbasis. Who is a Brajbasi? Just because you are born here doesn't make you Brajbasi. In an external sense, you are Brajbasi. But true Brajbasi is someone who has Braj Prem of Krishna. Nanda Baba, Madhya Yashoda, Shridham, Sudham, Subal, Marumangal, Lavanga, Kinkini, Rama, all these Sakas, all the Braj Gopis, Lalita, Vishaka, Tungavidya, Champalata, Indurega, Sudevi, Rangadevi, all these, Rupamani, Yati Manjari, they all have this Braj Prem. They are the true Brajbasis. Therefore, taking shelter of any Vaishnava, any great sadhu who is actually an eternal Brajbasi, Nitya Siddha Brajbasi, then you can attain this Prema Bhakti. Otherwise, Krishna Bhakti Rasid Bhavita Matiya Kriyatan Yadikatopi Labhyate Tatta Laurim Abhi Mulyam Ekalam Janma Kodi Sukritan Labhyate. It says, Rai Ramananda Samvad, Sri Rai Ramananda told Mahaprabhu, by Janma Kodi Sukriti, by millions and millions of births of Sukriti, you cannot attain this Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. This Mati means this consciousness. What consciousness? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. That consciousness which is absorbed in this Krishna Bhakti Rasa. You cannot attain this consciousness, this state of consciousness, this love, by Janma Koti Sukrita. By millions and millions of births of Sukriti. That means going to the temple, having darshan, offering pranam to Tulsi, taking Mahaprasad, Charanamrita. This is all Sukriti. And what is Bhakti? Bhakti is attained where? By the Bhakta. Therefore I said Janma, so that Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Madi Kriyatam Yadikuta Bilabde Tatra Laulyam Api Mulyam Eklam. There's only one mulya, one price, that is Laulyam, greed. Greed to associate with the Braj, with the Bhakta. Then by his mercy, by that Sarvasanga, he will give you this Bhakti that is in his heart. Going to the temple, having darshan, hearing Harikatha, all these things, if you're doing it in a general sense, you will accumulate Sukriti. By that Sukriti, you will get association of a sadhu. When you meet that, when you take shelter of that sadhu, that Nitya Siddha Brajbasi, then he will instruct you, then he will give you this Bhakti. Therefore, Krishna is saying in the Gita here that pious actions, holy places, devas and subject knowledge are by themselves not able to destroy unfavorable attachments. This is called elephant bath. You go to the temple, take darshan, you spin around and do all these things. Then what happens after? Then you go to your house, then again, doing the same things you're always doing. Elephant will take bath in the water, he'll come out and he'll take the dust and he'll throw in his body. He gets clean, but then he makes his body dirty again. So we go to the tirtha, we get clean for 1 hour, then we come back, then we again engage in our sinful activities. So therefore, these things will not destroy your attachments. Only the sadhu will destroy the attachments. Therefore, tato dussangam utsijja sattu sajjata buddhima. Someone who is a buddhiman, very intelligent, he will give up this dusanga, this bad association. And he'll take shelter of the sajjata, the sajjans, the sadhus. Then they will, with their words, they'll perform chindanti, they'll cut your attachments. The sadhu, if you go to the sadhu will not tell you, yes, do this, do worldly activities. Sadhu will say, sit, chant, take darshan, do seva, he'll engage you in devotional service. Don't do this, he'll guide you. And then this is how the purification will take place. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Krishna as saying, "O Arjuna, don't think that a man of knowledge will attain auspiciousness, liberation from bondage, if he simply deliberates on spirit and matter and accepts the shelter of sannyas dharma by impetuously giving up material guna and karma. Even after the Baddha Jiva has become enriched with jnana, he should still endeavor according to his long acquired disposition. It is not true that one can give up one's nature by suddenly restraining it. All Baddha Jiva should continue to endeavor according to the disposition they have naturally acquired over a prolonged period. In other words, whatever you're doing, no need to change artificially. Do what you're doing, but add the element of doing it in the mood of an offering to the Lord. Don't do your activities with a mood of trying to enjoy. Do it with the mood as an offering for the Lord, and slowly your heart will become purified. Someone who tries to jump to get the fruit off the tree, then what happens? He will fall. But if you wait, naturally the fruit will ripe and it will fall from the tree by itself. So when natural detachment awakens in the heart, then that is the time to renounce, not before. If someone asks the question, oh, should I renounce? Should I do this? Should I do that? Means if he's asking the question, it means he shouldn't do. Because he's asking the question. He has a doubt. Someone who has natural renunciation, he will not ask, he will do, he will simply do. Like a sinful person who has a desire to enjoy. He wants to enjoy something. Then he's not going to ask anybody. He'll go and buy it with his money and he'll enjoy. Why he will ask? He has desire, he wants to do, he's going to do that. So when it comes to detachment and renunciation, if you're asking, should I renounce, means you have no desire. You're confused. Don't do it. Artificially don't. When the time comes, you will not ask the question, you will simply do. You will simply renounce. Therefore, the proper way to give up this nature is to carefully perform all karma in accordance with that nature, while being situated in it. As long as vairagya, enriched with the symptoms of bhakti yoga, does not appear in the heart, then the only means to attain self-auspiciousness is nishkam karma yoga, offered to Sri Bhagavan. By this practice, a person can perform his prescribed duties for dharma and also benefit from the samskars generated by them. So when you do your duty in a mood of offering to Bhagavan, then you will develop some good samskar, good nature. And then slowly, your heart will become purified. The renunciation of one's for dharma will only result in deviation from the path of perfection. But if artificially give up your dharma, your duties, then you will not be able to, neither you will not do bhakti, maybe 1-2 days you do, but then you will give up. Then again you will enter into sinful activity. So better be slow and steady. Do your duties, but do it as an offering to Bhagavan, in connection with the Lord, and slowly your heart will be purified. Then by the result of that, true renunciation will one day manifest in the heart. When by my mercy or by the mercy of my bhakta, bhakti yoga appears in the heart, there is no need to follow one's swadharma, because this path of bhakti is superior to nishkam karma yoga. But then when natural detachment does awaken in the heart, then it is the duty of the bhakta to give up his swadharma and dedicate his life in service to the Lord. If he neglects to serve the Lord, then he will not make any progress. And neither will his swadharma give him any happiness. And then he will not make any progress. So when natural detachment comes in the heart, then naturally one should act upon that. One who fails to act upon his natural detachment, then he will be also at fault. And his progress will be checked. He cannot advance. So the path of bhakti is superior to nishkam karma yoga. Otherwise, if bhakti yoga has not awakened, to follow nishkam karma yoga offered to me is auspicious in all cases. So till then, till bhakti yoga awakens in the heart, till bhakti devotion manifests, shraddha manifests, do your karma, nishkam, but in the mood of nishkam, not sakam. Slok 34. Indriyas arte raga dveso vivastito tayorna vasham agachet tau asya paripantino. All the senses are invariably controlled by attachment and aversion to their respective objects. Therefore, one should never come under their sway, because such attachment and aversion impede auspiciousness for the sadhaka. In other words, if you are attached to any specific sense object, then the senses will be dragged there, and then you are forced to enjoy. Now, something that may be very favorable to your devotion, but you are averse to it, then you will not want to, then you will not engage in that. Like for instance, there's someone likes doing a certain kind of service, but there's a service that is necessary to be done, but he doesn't like doing that service because of his nature. Oh, I don't like to throw the garbage, or I don't like to clean the toilet because the smell, bad smell. Then he is checking himself. He has opportunity to make great advancement, but because of his aversion due to his senses, then he doesn't engage, and then he remains bereft. Or then he becomes too attached to some sense of gratification, and he engages and he enjoys, and that creates obstacles for his devotion. So the senses, we should never become controlled by our senses. Bhavanuvad. Since it is beyond the control of Shastra to enforce injunctions on a person who has an extremely wicked nature, one should not allow his senses to wander willfully. By regularly engaging in sinful activities, a person becomes depraved. Sri Bhagavan is speaking this shloka beginning with the word Indriyasya, to explain this. The repetition of the word indriya here indicates the sense objects of each respective sense. Although to look at another's wife, touch her or alert in Shastra, still an immoral man is attracted to such behavior. On the other hand, although it is prescribed in Shastra to see, touch, serve, and offer charity to the Guru, Brahmanas and holy places, and guests, an impious man is averse to such behavior. To come under the influence of either of these mentalities is not proper. In other words, it is not proper either to develop attachment to a woman by seeing her or to be malicious to someone, or to be malicious to someone who obstructs that attachment. Similarly, a sadhak on the path of self-realization should neither be attached to rich and palatable foodstuffs, which are to his taste, nor averse to dry, unpalatable food items and objects which are not to his taste. Mahaprasad is Mahaprasad. Whatever the Guru, Thakurji, Guru Maheshwar are giving us, we should honor that with great respect. Prasada seva korinda hoy sakala prapancha jay. By serving the Mahaprasad, we will overcome the obstacle that is presented to us in the form of this material body. This body is creating a great obstacle to us. And Mahaprasad is the means by which we can purify our body and overcome this obstacle. In the same way, he should not be attached to seeing and hearing about his own son, nor should he be averse to seeing and hearing about his enemy's son. It is inappropriate to come under the influence of such attachments and aversions. This has been explained. You can see in Mahabharata an example of this. When we know the history of Maharaj Drupad and Dronacharya, how Maharaj Drupad insulted Dronacharya. Then Dronacharya, he trained the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and then for his Guru Dakshina, he requested them to capture Drupad. And they did. Then when he was captured, then Dronacharya then returned half of his kingdom back to him and humiliated in this way. Oh, you're my prisoner, but I show mercy to you, I forgive you. Then that was a great insult. So then Maharaj Drupad, he performed the yajna. May that personality be born who will be able to kill Dronacharya. Because Dronacharya was a Brahman, he was a powerful rishi. He was actually, he could not be defeated in battle. He was so expert, so powerful. So then Drupad was thinking, how will I defeat him? How will I? So he did this yajna, then from that yajna, two personalities manifested. Dhristadyumna and Draupadi. So later, even this Dronacharya, he trained this Dhristadyumna. He trained him in all artware, everything. He trained him in all arts of warfare, everything. Even though he knew that he came out of the yajna and he is that person who is destined to kill me. But Dronacharya, he's not averse to his enemies and not attached to his own son. He was actually attached, he was somewhat attached to his son Ashwatthama. That is what ultimately led to his death. Because Krishna thought that he is unable to be defeated. We cannot defeat him in battle, regardless. Even if Dhristadyumna himself engages in battle, he cannot defeat him. He can only be defeated if he willingly gives up his will to fight. How will he give up his will to fight if he hears that his son Ashwatthama is dead? So he told Yudhishthira Maharaj, you declare that Ashwatthama is dead. But how can I tell a lie? Now I'll say that Ashwatthama the elephant is dead. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he hesitated. He said Ashwatthama the elephant. When he said elephant, then Krishna blew the conch, so Dronacharya couldn't hear. Then Dronacharya, he heard that Ashwatthama was dead from Yudhishthira's own mouth. First the others were all declaring it. Dronacharya said, I don't believe. If Yudhishthira Maharaj said it, then I'll believe. Because he can never tell a lie. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Ashwatthama, the elephant is dead, but he didn't hear the word elephant, he only heard Ashwatthama is dead, then he sat in samadhi on his chariot and closed his eyes. Then Dhristadyumna himself came with a sword and cut his head off as he was meditating. So, but at the same time, someone who is averse to Bhagavan, like we heard yesterday night, Ekalabhya. Ekalabhya thought by hook and by crook, by force, I'll make Dronacharya my guru, I'll learn from him, hear from him. He even made a murti of him. Dronacharya neglected first, said, no, I will not teach you. Why? He understood. His heart is black. He has no desire to do anything good. He only has a desire to kill Arjuna and show his supremacy over everyone. I will not give knowledge to such a sinful person. So he said, I only teach princes, I only teach Rajkumars. You are neither a Rajkumar and you are neither, I cannot accept you as a disciple. So then Ekalavya, he began doing tapasya by himself. Created a murti of Dronacharya, began practicing. He became so expert that he even could rival the archery of Arjuna. That's how expert he became. When Dronacharya was going in the forest with his students, they had hunting dogs. Why do you take hunting dogs? Then you hunt deer and things and you practice your archery. So they're going with his hunting dogs. Then the dog was barking, bark, bark, bark. Then suddenly the dog's barking stopped. The dog came running back, his mouth was full of arrows, but not one single scratch on the dog. Who is so expert, able to fill the dog's mouth with arrows, such a way he cannot bark, but without harming the dog? You can imagine, you shoot the arrow, it's not going to stop suddenly in the dog's mouth. It's going by force, it will go into the mouth and cause injury. Ekalavya will shoot in such a way that it will stop in the dog's mouth. Then Ekalavya came and said, oh, I am your disciple, I am Ekalavya. And then they saw that he had created a murti of Dronacharya. Then Dronacharya said, okay, I want Guru Dakshina. If I am your Guru, give me Dakshina. I said, yes, what is your Dakshina? He said, give me your right thumb. Took his knife, cut his thumb up, gave it to him. And then he had to practice learning with his left hand, but then he never became so good. Then later in the Mahabharata war, and Krishna with his Sudarshan, I think Krishna with his Sudarshan Chakra cut his head off, I think. Anyway, the people they say, oh, Ekalavya is the ideal example of a Guru Seva. But he is not, because he never tried to follow the desire of Dronacharya, and he was against the devotees. So he was not a Guru Seva, he was a Guru Drohi actually. But anyway, we'll stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue with our explanation of this verse. Gaur Bhamananda Hari Hari Va Jai Shri Guru Pada Padma Ki Jai Guru Parampara Ki Jai Sachinanda Gaur Hari Ki Jai Suparsada Gaur Hari Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Madhi Vaishnavi Nivedanta Gaur Bhamananda Hari